Hello, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and today we're going to do something. I'm going to call this one the underwater empires, our alien bases hiding in Earth's oceans. Okay, so for decades, the skies have been captivated our imaginations with tales of flying saucers and mysterious lights, right? But what if they've been looking in the wrong direction? Okay, and when I say wrong direction, I don't mean that there is none up in the sky because there definitely is some in the sky, right? But the chances are maybe some of the bases are actually under the water, or maybe all the bases are, for all we know. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. So, what if the real alien presence isn't above, as I just talked about, but is really more below? Okay, since 70% of the planet is covered with Earth's oceans that really are pretty much unexplored. Okay. In fact, we have mapped more of Mars than we have actually mapped of our oceans here on Earth. This is a vast, dark, and pressurized realm, is a perfect hiding place for anything or anyone wishing to remain unseen. Obviously, it seems like UFOs, and for the most part, even though they do show themselves, at least occasionally, want to be somewhat unseen, unknown, whatever. They're not coming out and landing and, saying, here we are type thing for the most part. I think some people have seen them land and actually had a conversation or two. It's no wonder that the idea that underwater alien bases has gained some traction among UFO researchers and people that are speculative thinkers alike. Um, so, one of the most talked about underwater anomalies is located just off of Malibu. Now, I've talked about this before. I've actually had talked to some people that actually lived in the area and actually had witnessed some UFOs coming out of the water in the general area. And basically, the place is known as the Sycamore Knoll. Okay, this structure, it basically lies about 2,000 feet below the surface and spans an area about 3 miles across. It was first brought to the attention, radio attention, by a radio guy named Jimmy Church in 2014. Okay, the formation resembles a massive stadium-like dome with which appears to be columns or pillars supporting a flat roof. Okay, some researchers called this is long believed to be an area to be a hotspot of USOs, or unidentified submersed objects. So there's a lot of activity in this area, okay? And reports of these glowing objects entering and exiting the water near a place called the uh, uh, Point Dumb date back almost 40 years. More recent conspiracy theorists have noted that the structure has mysteriously vanished from Google Earth. You could see it on Google Earth. I actually saw it on Google Earth several years, quite a few years ago, actually, when I talked to these guys, these witnesses from Malibu, and I checked Google Earth, and at that time it was still there. It was exactly what how I described it previously. Um, so, anyways, this whole thing disappearing on Google Earth actually, of course, has just raised or fueled the speculation that was something there and was something that now man wants to, or our government wants to actually vanish or hide. I guess we'll put it that way. So, um, so the UFOs, as I was saying, kind of the ones above in the air, basically dominate the headlines. But the USOs are their aquatic counterparts are moving through, and there's been this people coming out, military people coming out and talking about these incredible speeds of these underwater, under just barely under the surface, where they just look like lights moving at incredible speed, and they're actually without creating a wave or without creating a sound. Um, and these sightings are basically not new because Christopher Columbus himself wrote in his journals that he had recorded or seen strange lights beneath the sea during his voyage to the New World. Um, so more modern reports, even more compelling. Naval officers have described in their sonar uh, contacts with objects moving at speeds far beyond the capabilities of known submarines. And in one case, an anonymous admiral allegedly told Congressman uh, Tim Burchett about a USO that moved like a bullet underwater, defying all the laws of physics. If an advanced civilization wanted to observe Earth without detection, the oceans would be ideal. And why is this? Because concealment. The ocean's depth and the opacity make it nearly impossible to detect structures or vehicles without specialized equipment. So this isn't like, again, a bunch of people with their cell phone cameras or being able to look up in the sky, see lights, take pictures, take videos, etc. This is not so easy. It really is quite difficult because you can't really see that far down into the ocean from the surface. Again, without special equipment going down. Yes, satellites have helped somewhat because satellites can pick up things that people cannot see using special lenses and special technology. But still, there's all kinds of places that UFOs and UFO bases could be hidden under rock shelves, under deep in trenches, etc. Um, so one of the other reasons would be there. There would be an access of these whoever they are, aliens, I guess. Uh, so the water, this grand ocean system we have could be a resource for propulsion, life support, and possibly even energy generation. Okay. So then there's also strategic positioning. Oceans border every continent, offering easy access to monitor human activity globally. I don't think many people have actually thought about that, but it's true. They can go underwater without being seen, and they can pop up in the middle of the night and, you know, fly over just like the other ones we talk about do, becoming so now they go from USOs to UFOs, and then they do whatever they do. Okay, so some theorists even suggest that these bases could be portals or gateways to other dimensions. Okay, that's kind of taking it out there. They're hidden below in this deep crushing pressure. Okay, that's the other thing. The pressure really limits us as humans from going down there very far without some amazing technology. Okay. And we're talking about very, very deep. You know, some of these trenches are what, 20,000 feet below the surface, even more. They don't even know. I'm sure there's some that go much more than 20,000 feet, but those are the ones that they know about at least. So, uh, again, going back to this Sycamore Knoll off of Malibu. So this whole disappearing thing on Google Earth is a big deal, okay? So as early as 2025, the coordinates that once revealed the anomaly now show a blurry patch on Ocean 3. Okay, that's the Google, I think it's Google Maps of the Ocean, Ocean 3. This is a simple case of outdated uh, satellite data or deliberate censorship. Who knows? Nobody knows. Some argue that the removal is part of a broad pattern of concealment. After all, if it is possible that the base did exist, it would be a matter of national security. Yes, it would be. Others suggest an anomaly was never really there to begin with, a trick of light, shadow, or wishful thinking. Yeah, all that's very possible. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so there are other places besides Malibu in the world, and I like to go through a few of them. I think they're pretty fascinating. So there's the Puerto Rico Trench, um, which had a UFO incident in 2013. This case was one of the most compelling of the uh, USO incidences. So, April 25th, 2013, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection aircraft captured on infrared footage a strange object flying at low altitude over the airport in the major airport in Puerto Rico, Rafael Hendrian's airport. The object then entered the ocean without slowing down, continuing moving underwater and even appeared to split into two separate entities. So what makes this incident stand out? Well, there was official footage, okay? Obviously, that can be seen. I didn't go back and look and see if it's still available, but I think it is. Thermal used the thermal video was leaked and later analyzed by multiple experts, including former military personnel. So there was no wake or splash. The object entered the water seamlessly, defying known aerodynamics and hydrodynamics. Okay. So then there was also the high speed maneuvering. It moved underwater at speeds not known that a submergible or like a submarine could move way beyond that. I was told 3 or 4 times the normal speed of a submarine. Uh, and actually, I think there was one. I have a cousin that actually was a commander on a nuclear submarine, and I was telling him certain speeds, and he said, "Well, that's way beyond 3 or 4." He said, and I said, "Okay, well, I guess you should know, right?" So, so skeptics have proposed mundane explanations such as balloons, planes, but not fully accounting for any of this stuff I just told you about. And I think they're just trying to pull stuff out of their butt, basically. Okay, and then the next one I want to talk about for a minute is this Lake Baikal, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. This is in Russia, and this was in 1982. So it was, we'll call it a Soviet diver encounter. So Lake Baikal is the world's deepest and oldest freshwater lake, but it is a magnet. I guess we'll call it for high strangeness. I've heard other strange things happening in that lake before. Again, this probably has something to do with it being so extremely deep. So in 1982, a Soviet military training dive, a team of 7 divers allegedly encountered a 3 meter tall humanoid being 3 meter tall. So that's about, let's figure that's pretty close to 10 foot, right? Wearing tight silver suits. Oh, I'm sorry. This was actually more than one. This is a group of them, okay? And with no visible breathing apparatus. So they didn't have no breathing apparatus. So, so some of the key details were here were the divers tried to net one of the beings, okay? In response, they were hit with a force that propelled them rapidly to the surface. So basically, they were trying to capture one. It shot this beam of something and didn't kill them, didn't kill the divers, but send them to the surface, okay? So oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. 3 of the divers did die, not so much because of the beam, because of them going to the surface too fast. And there was what is it? The decompression sickness because of the sudden ascent. Okay, that's what killed them basically. I guess if they had one of those chambers and put them in the chamber, they could have probably saved them. But obviously, there was no chamber close by. So the incident was reportedly documented in classified Soviet files, but never officially acknowledged. Okay, so it was basically this was a leak from one of the divers here. So the Lake Baikal has also been a site of glowing discs raising from the depths, as I have said, and even a massive underground light that once illuminated an entire yacht. Okay, some of the researchers believe that the lake may conceal an ancient alien base or even a portal to another dimension. Okay, so Lake Baikal, pretty interesting stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more than just what I told you. So then there's the Antarctic and Arctic. There's these polar mysteries and hidden fortresses. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about them. A lot of this stuff, I could probably do a video on each one of them, and maybe I will someday. Both poles are steeped in lore. Both Antarctica, in particular, has become an area of conspiracy theories and alien-based speculation. And I've written about Antarctica, about the different bases and some of the things there, and how climate change was putting a great deal of pressure on possibility of these bases being there, and they would be more exposed when a lot of the ice melted in Antarctica, especially since there is a continent underneath. So then it's interesting to note, and I didn't know this until I did some research. It was called something called Operation High Jump, which was done in 1946 and 1947. It was a massive U.S. Army, I'm sorry, U.S. Navy expedition led by, well, this is the Richard Byrd thing. Officially a trained mission, but some claim it was a reconnaissance effort against a hidden Nazi base. Okay? The Invincible Fortress quote. Admiral Dunst allegedly referred to a paradise oasis in the middle of this ice field, fueling speculation of a subterranean base. Okay? So Google Earth anomalies. Satellite images have shown strange geometric shapes or pyramids, and even which some claim are entrances to underground facilities. Of course, these poles are ideal for secrecy. They're harsh. It's a remote area, largely unmonitored. Whether it's an ancient civilization buried under the ice or an alien craft using magnetic anomalies for navigation, the polar regions remain a fertile ground for speculation. Yes, and they always have been, especially Antarctica, and they probably always will be. So, um, while these things are either could be real or imagined, the idea of underwater alien bases has steeped in our collective consciousness, and they've done many movies on it. The Abyss, Pacific Realm. Of course, these are these kind of popular culture uh, fascination with this type of underwater uh, alien stuff. Um, so, in conclusion, so alien bases basically are hidden beneath the Earth's surface, and that's probably the question: Are they? Are they? Evidence is tantalizing but inconclusive. What is clear that oceans remain one of the last vast mysteries of our planet. Whether it hides ancient uh, alien civilizations or simply limits our imagination, a realm is worth watching. So, because the oceans are there, they're hard to penetrate, look at easily. So now we have a lot of speculation going on, and there seems to be more and more evidence that there could be these alien bases underground. So as we continue to explore the deep, we may find the truth isn't just out there, it's down there. Okay? So I hope this has stimulated your thought. Happy trails until you meet again. It's the